Moen, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've got some questions for you. You ready?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So why did you decide to apply for this job?
Well, I started playing Madden back in 2004 when Michael Vick, he was my favorite player at the time. He was on the cover. And it was my first time really getting into sports games outside of like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. So that was more like playful fun. And this really let me shine. It used my brain a lot. And suddenly the kid that was never good enough for the A team, I had a way to compete and beat the jocks at my school. And after realizing this, I became a huge fan of managing players, tweaking stats to match what I thought were accurate. And I did this a ton across FIFA and Madden games, both of them. So it seemed like a natural fit for me to design games that have had such an impact on my life and that I've been working with for fun before I even knew I wanted to be a game designer.
Great.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, ideally in 5 years, I'd like to be in a production role. I have worked well with people and I have a knack for inspiration. So I can really get teams to work well together and I can get the best work out of people, which is more important than just getting the best out of me, is getting the best out of a lot of people. And I'm a great go-between. So there's the tech people that have more jargony language, and sometimes they have a hard time communicating with more, finances and stuff like that. So I have a strong foothold in both of these worlds. I'm a very natural communicator.
Thank you. How are you qualified for this job?
For this job in particular, I think I'm qualified because I have a great eye for what's engaging. As an avid sports fan and video game fan, I have a vested interest in making a great product. That isn't enough, though, and I'm well aware of that. So I did go to school, got a college degree, and spent 2.5 years working in game engines, learning design principles, and even developing a game with a full team to improve my technical skills. And I have a great work ethic because I don't think about money. I come from a results bring rewards mentality.
Awesome. All right. What are your long-range career goals, and what are you doing to achieve them?
So long term, I really would like to be in a position where I don't worry about technical skills as much, and I'm in a position where I handle big picture management projects. This isn't because I don't like the technical skills. I just think that the big picture is something that I'm good at seeing, and I want to prove that I'm able to do that, which is why I start with the technical skills. I also think it builds trust between teams if they know that you can do what you're asking them to do. It's sort of a thing that I think is really important. But I would like to have a large say in what kind of happens in the overall game design. And I think I'm a good person for that, at least down the road.
Thank you. All right. And my last question, tell me about a conflict you faced at work and how you handled it.
Well, I rarely do have conflict, but there was a situation where a teammate had been having an overwhelming say on the design of a group project, and I could tell other people felt unheard. I kind of went in steps with it. I started by just making more suggestions and asking questions to other people by name about their opinions on the decisions we were making. Unfortunately, the teammate always had a reason why every idea that wasn't theirs wouldn't work. Some of their ideas were obviously tied to their emotions because they had created it and they lost sight of the player experience because they liked what they had done. They'd spent so much time on it. Eventually, we had a meeting and I talked to them for an hour and a half with two other people present, and we worked it out. They made alterations that were better for player experience, and I found ways to make sure that they still felt heard themselves and maintained their creative spirit. And after that, the project flowed a lot better. People felt a lot more involved, I feel.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and answering those questions, and we will be back in touch with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me again, and I'm excited to see what you say about it.
Yeah.
Thank
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.